Welcome to the show. I'm Claude Shirati. Tonight, it is news and humor. Generally, over the last several weeks, we've had Vincent Chaka, who has been doing this section, this segment with me. But tonight is different. We've got another guest, and you'll find more about him in just a second, right after this. Okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for your interest in this show. And we know that we have continued to receive very good feedback for this part of the for this segment of the African Knowledge Show, where we talk about news and humor. And as I said tonight, I have a new guest, and his name is Ashely Filsaimee.
Hello, how
Ashely,
are you?
how are you?
Not too bad. I'm doing great. I'm doing excellent.
Welcome to the show. All
Thank you
right,
for having me.
so I'm interested with your surname. It says Filsaimee. That's French, isn't it? Tell us a bit more about that.
Yes, actually, it is a French name. I'm actually Haitian American. I'm not French. I'm from Haiti, the island of Haiti. You know where Haiti is, right?
Yeah,
You heard of Haiti before. That's good. I would expect that from you and people of our culture. But it's hard sometimes when people don't know what Haitian is. When I first came here, I was doing a show, and after the show, I said, "Good night. My name is Ashely Filsaimee." And after the show, a lady came up to me, and she was a white Australian woman, and she was like, "Filsaimee, your last name is it French?" And I was like, "No, it's not French. It's Haitian." She goes, "Oh my God, you're from Haiti?" And then she starts crying because they only think about the earthquake when they think of the Haiti. "Oh my God." She goes, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm okay, man. I'm right here. I'm in your face. I'm okay." And then she goes, do you want $1?" I'm like, "$1?"
oh,
Yes. I took it. I took it and I ran because she offered. So I guess being from Haiti has its perks.
she was offering you $1.
She offered me $1. She offered me. I guess that's what they do when they feel bad for you. Do you want $1? I'll take it. I took the tram home, so hey, it worked out for me.
I would have told her put a few zeros after that, and that'll be
Really?
much nicer.
I should have thought about that, but I don't want to push it. Money is
That's
money for
okay.
three.
All right, all right. So you're based in Melbourne, are you?
Yes, I'm based in Melbourne. I'm based in
Uh,
Melbourne, the
how do you like the
reservoir.
weather here? I mean, how long have you been around?
I've been around for a while. The weather here is a bit confusing because they say here the weather has 4 seasons in one day, and it's true. I think the weather here has a little bit of like Tourette's. Doesn't know what it wants to do. It's like hot, cold. Forget it. Doesn't know what it wants to do. I feel sorry for it here. I feel sorry for the weatherman here. That must be a
Yeah,
horrible job because he or she can't get it right. Like if I was him or her, I would tell the truth when I told them about tonight. Possible chance of rain, hail, snow. I don't know. Back to you. You know, and it gets really hot here. A type of heat I never experienced in my life. And I'm from Haiti, and I'm saying that it's hot. It's hot here. Like
yes,
it's because you guys don't have an ozone layer or something like that.
yeah,
It was so hot one time I had to put on sunscreen, brother. Like and black people we don't use sunscreen because we have that
yes,
but I use sunscreen and I never used it before. I thought sunscreen was like lotion, like when you rub it in, it disappears. Well, this time
yeah.
I had no idea, so I grabbed the sunscreen. I started rubbing it in my face, started rubbing it in my arms. It wasn't going anywhere, and before I knew it, I turned into a white man. So I took advantage. I went outside and got me a job. I'm like, hurry up and hire me before it runs out. So yeah.
Yeah, that defeats the whole purpose of sunscreen. If you black, usually they put sunscreen to become brown, and you brown,
Yeah,
you become white. So
we're human beings. We're never happy. We're never happy.
yeah,
The
yeah,
grass is blacker on the other side. In this
I
case,
see. Oh, have you gotten used to the Australian terminology so far?
yes, I'm trying to. One of the things that really got me in that caught me by surprise is like you guys have coffee really good here. I don't know if you've been to America. Our coffee is horrible in America. It's nothing like the coffee here. Our coffee in America is like it's black water and it tastes like broken dreams, right? Over here, you guys have really good coffee, like delicious coffee. It's delicious. So in America, we just ask for a coffee. That's all we ask. That's the only thing we ask for is a coffee. Can I get a coffee? Can I get a coffee? That's all we ask. I come over here my first time. I was in for a shop at the lingo. I go, excuse me, sir. I was in Melbourne. I go, excuse me, sir. Can I get a coffee? He goes, short black. I'm like, short black? What the hell just called me? Say it again. He's like, I'm sorry, long black. Oh, long black. Hey, how'd you know? So yeah, if you got that joke, good. If you didn't, then that's good too. That means you're a lot better than me.
You thought maybe he had an X-ray machine somewhere that was.
Yeah, it was a Superman. It was a Superman.
All right,
barista.
let's get into the news. Let's get into
All
the
right.
news now.
Let's do it.
The first thing that we'll talk about tonight is about Facebook that shut down. Tell us that outage. What happened?
Yeah, that was crazy. Everybody has their experience with Facebook. When it happened to me, I jumped online and I tried to jump online and I got there something went wrong. I was like, oh, what happened? So I tried again and again. It kept going. Something went wrong. I'm like, oh no, someone either stole my passwords or they went ahead and they actually went and they put me in Facebook jail. They could do that Facebook jail. So I said, let me make sure that it's not Facebook jail. Let me go to Instagram because they're connected. So I went to Instagram, and Instagram, something went wrong. I'm like, oh my goodness, they have my password. They have my passcode. That means they have all my information. So they have all my banking details. So I quickly ran and I checked my banking details. I'm like, no, I'm still broke. Nah. So yeah, they probably hacked it and decided let
nothing has changed over there.
Nothing's changed. So I'm like, oh yeah, they definitely I wasn't hacked. As a matter of fact, I think they added money to my account because they felt so bad for me. They actually gave me a couple of dollars, the same dollar that lady offered me for being Haitian.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's very nice. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg has a lot of value into people's life these days. If he shuts down, a lot of people's life shuts down as well. Looks like.
That's the thing. But you know what? I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but did you know? And this is not really a joke here, but it's something to think about. That when this happened, in America, they had a whistleblower, and the whistleblower, it was a person who actually worked there, and she was due to testify to the Supreme Court a couple of hours before that outage went down. So, you could put two and two together and try to figure it out. I think it's kind of weird that right before, this was a couple of hours before she had testified to the American Supreme Court, all of a sudden, Facebook goes down, WhatsApp goes down, and Instagram goes down, and then it goes back. So there could have been, I don't know, but I just find that funny in a weird way because it's never happened before, and he lost a couple of $1 billion. So if he was erasing something, it was probably worth it, and it's just something to think about. It's just something. We'll never know.
I never trust Mark Zuckerberg. You just have to look at his face. You think he may not even be human.
Nah, he's like, I know. I'm surprised that he didn't shut down himself with Facebook. I'm surprised when he talks to you. He talks to you like there's no soul. It's hardly. You can see it's like there's no soul. And when he talks, he just talks like a robot. It makes me wonder. It's like his whole face is one big Botox because he has no expression. He can't. I bet you he has kids. He's probably confused his wife and kids. Like, happy birthday, Mark. Are you surprised? Yes, I'm surprised. Are you sure? Yes, I'm surprised.
I'm sure.
Yeah. He's making love to his wife. Do you like that? Yes, I like that. You sure you like that? Yes. It's just the same face every time. So,
all right,
hey, man.
Then, as if that wasn't enough, we had an earthquake. Actually, the earthquake actually happened earlier. So it's just a combination of one thing after another. It looks like the world is changing, man.
The world is changing. People say God is angry. I don't know what happened to earthquake. It's one of those things that I left California. I left earthquakes to come over here. And then the earthquake followed me here. So I think I'm partly to blame. But you know what no one's talking about is every time something happens that's major, you always remember where you were. Like when 9/11 happened in America, people remember where they were. I'm certain it's the same thing with the earthquake. But what no one's talking about is that poor person who was getting the jab during the earthquake. No one's talking about that poor guy. Could you imagine you go into this poor guy, he's been scared to get a vaccine, and if he finally decided he got the courage to get the vaccine, so he goes and he sits down and he's telling the nurse he's scared. The nurse is telling him, "Okay, relax, don't worry about it, just relax." And he rolls up his sleeve and she's talking him down. He's getting ready to do it. She's aiming for his arm. Then all of a sudden, oh. And then she goes, "Oh, you know what? Eyeball, arm, same thing. Doesn't matter." So now he's a pirate. Yeah, he got the jab. So no one's talking about that poor person. You know, one time for the people who are getting a jab during the earthquake.
Yeah, well, for some people, the jab itself is a major earthquake in their lives, and so you combine the jab and then the earthquake. It's like, all right, something is wrong here.
That's a double whammy. That's what we call a double whammy, or a double stabby.
Exactly, double stabbing. Okay, and then in Victoria, Daniel Andrews, the premier who lectures everybody about COVID safe behaviors, was caught not once but twice not wearing a mask.
Now I'm going to be very, very careful when I say this because I applied for my citizenship last November. So and I know when you apply, they watch what you do. So before I say anything, I want to say I love this country.
In the car park.
Go ahead.
I love this country. I love Australia. And I just want to say that so in case they're watching immigration as they're deciding my approval. But I think, we're all human. And he got COVID fatigue. So we're all human. And he actually was wearing the mask. He just took it off too early before he got in the car and he got too used to it. And, I kind of understand where he's coming from. And I give him credit for actually owning up to it and paying the fine. But here's what threw me off guard. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed this. When he apologized, he goes, "Hey, I'm sorry that it happened. And I'm not above anything. I'm paraphrasing. I'm not above anything, and it won't happen again. I'm sorry that it happened." But then he said, "And I want you to know that I paid for the fine out of my own pocket." I'm like, "Yeah. Well, who else is gonna pay for it? Like, of course, it's out of your own pocket. I'm not paying for that." And then it got me thinking. You know how like the governments are? I figured all governments are the same because I heard that he could have used tax dollars, and I didn't even know that was a thing, and it got me thinking like, how is it like the governments, and this is not just Australian government, but all the governments in the world, like in America. When I was living in America, they kept telling us we owe money to China. We owe money to China. I'm like, I don't owe money to China. I never got that from China. Like you owe money. You know who I owe right now? I owe Optus. I owe Foxtel. And sometimes I owe Sportsbet, but I don't owe China. So it's crazy. And the thing about it too is, why is he telling us that he's paid for it out of his own pocket? He wants a reward for doing something that he already did. Like for instance, like we live in a society and I'm guilty of it too. Like every time I remember to take out the trash before my wife reminds me, I always tell her, "Hey, I got, hey, babe, hey." I took out the trash. And she goes, "Good. How about you pay the rent?" I'm like, "Pay the rent? Whoa, slow down. I owe Foxtel. I owe Sportsbet. Listen, I'll pay China before I pay the rent."
Wow. That's true. But you know what? He probably said that because this is a man who's used to not paying for stuff that he wants because the government is paying for it.
I had no idea this was a thing. That reminds me of that lady when I first got here. This is how long ago I came here. There was a lady, the Madam Speaker. Her name was Brown Whip Bishop. Remember her?
Yeah.
And she used
to had a helicopter ride.
Helicopter flights. So I was like, wow. And then one person used a limousine for their dog to travel with their dog. I was like, I'm in the wrong business. I'm in the wrong business. So I want to do with my community. If I become a citizen, hopefully I will. If they're listening out there, Australia, I just want to say these were just jokes, Mr. Andrews. I appreciate what you're doing, and I hope that you guys approve my citizenship. You gotta be careful nowadays because I'm the type of guy who always gets in some kind of awkward trouble by accident. So I gotta be careful what I say.
Yeah.
Until I become a citizen.
Okay, and then there was another issue. There was another topic in the news where a woman decided to cut off her husband's manhood because he was cheating.
Yeah, this story is crazy because this is I forgot her name. It was an Asian lady, and she found out her husband. But her husband, what he did was he used her phone to send his lover a message. like he used her phone to send his yeah, he was getting a jab too, but he used her phone to send his his lover a message, and and she she caught him. So when they were sleeping one day, she cut off his manhood, and I don't know where she put it, but the man got it, and he actually got it and took it to the hospital. The hospital put it back on, and then she came through the hospital to see how he was doing. Oh, baby, everything's okay. Hope you're okay. Boom, and she cut it again, and that's what
Whoa.
happened. The lady, she cut it off twice, and she ran out the hospital with it. And I was thinking to myself, that's crazy, because security didn't stop her. And then I thought about it. If you were a security guard and you had a woman coming towards you, run towards you with somebody else's manhood in their hands, I'm like, hey, man, go ahead, lady. That's not my manhood. It's not my problem. You guys do what you got to do. So that's
All
why I
right.
think.
Yeah, that's one hell of a story. This woman was really determined to cut the business twice. That's
Yeah,
very serious.
I think she should apply for Jim's mowing. She's so good at cutting stuff.
I'm sure she will get a job.
She
She'll
got her
get
own
a job.
franchise.
Maybe.
Franchise.
I'm sure there are a lot of women out there who would want to give her a job.
Oh, absolutely.
because they just can't do it themselves.
No, they can't. No, I'm laughing. They can't get caught.
That's right. All right. Okay. Well, that's getting us towards the end of this segment.
Yes.
We're really happy that Ash, you've given us 15 minutes of laughter when we're looking at what's happening in the news. So we do appreciate your time to this segment of African Knowledge Show that we call News and Humor. We hope to actually have more opportunities to have you and Vincent as well, who has been assisting with this segment over the last several weeks.
Yeah, he's very good. I've seen a lot of his work. He's very, very talented. Vincent Chaka.
Vincent Chaka. All right. Thank you very much, Ash. And we hope to see you perhaps even next week. Maybe you and Vincent can come together and we can have this conversation together. How's that?
Absolutely. I'm open for anything. I'm not doing anything with lockdown, so I'm doing whatever I can.
All right. In the meantime, we're trying to find that lady and get her to add a few zeros after the dollar that she offered. I suppose that's going to help.
Oh yeah, hopefully, and try to get her to get somebody else to sign up for Jim's mowing as well.
All right.
Different later.
Thank you very much, and have a good night.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, for those who are watching, thank you for watching this segment on News and Humor at African Media Australia, and we thank you for the interest that you are manifesting in relation to this show. We ask you, as usual, to share the video, to subscribe to our Facebook page, to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and if you have something that you want to share with the community, do not hesitate to contact us. We all want to provide a platform where people with different talent, with different knowledge, wisdom, insight, or anything that is valuable to the community can be shared through this platform on African Media Australia. Also, until next time, stay blessed and stay safe. Thank you.